Welcome back to the channel, Soap fans. It is a wild Wednesday, and we have so much to unpack today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer, grab a strong cup of coffee because we are diving deep into the absolute madness that just went down in Port Charles. Let's get right into it. I cannot believe they just did that. I am literally shaking at my keyboard right now because what in the actual world was that episode? I mean, we all knew this week was going to be intense, but I was not prepared for the sheer level of chaos they just unleashed on our screens. I'm sorry, but are we really supposed to just sit here and pretend that half of Port Charles hasn't completely lost their minds? Because they have. They absolutely have. I've been watching this show since 2015, and I have seen some wild plot twists, but the sheer reckless abandon these characters are operating with right now is off the charts. Let's start with the most ridiculous thing first, because I need to vent. Carly, what on earth is Carly thinking? I know some people are loving this fearless, mob-adjacent Carly era, but personally, I am pulling my hair out. She is literally telling Charlotte Cassidy and Danny, two teenagers who have already been through enough trauma to last 3 lifetimes, that she is going on a highly dangerous, totally rogue mission to Windermere. Windermere, the place that is currently a fortress of doom. And her backup plan? Hey kids, if you don't hear from me by 8 p, I'm just give Sunny a call. Are you kidding me? Because, yeah, that always works out so well. Let's just leave the fate of Jocelyn's life and Carly's safety in the hands of 2 teens watching a ticking clock. Remember when Carly tried to play hero with the whole Nell situation? Or when she thought she could outsmart Cyrus Renault? Yeah, didn't work then either. But here she is, marching right back into the lion's den. I mean, I love her fierce mama bear energy. I really do. But the lack of actual strategy here is staggering. She knows Ross Cullum is a literal monster. She knows Jen Sidwell is ruthless. And she's just gonna waltz onto Spoon Island? I am terrified for her, but I'm also kind of furious that she's putting Danny and Charlotte in this position. And speaking of Sunny, can we talk about this showdown with Tracy Quartermaine? Oh my gosh, Jane Elliott is a national treasure, and I will not hear otherwise. Whenever Tracy and Sunny share the screen, you know it's going to be absolute fireworks. They have decades of history, decades of the Quartermaines and Corinthos families battling for the soul of Port Charles. Tracy giving Sunny a piece of her mind is the energy I live for. She does not fear him, she has never feared him, and she will gladly tell him exactly how much of a menace he is to civil society. But then, out of nowhere, Giovanni Gio Palmieri steps in to defend Sunny. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. So Tracy is laying into Sunny, probably about the absolute state of the town, the deception mess, or just Sunny's general existence, because Tracy doesn't need a reason to read someone for filth. And Gio, sweet, innocent, violin-playing Gio, decides this is the moment he needs to play bodyguard for the Teflon Don. I am screaming. Why is Gio getting involved in this? I know he's been feeling guilty about Rocco Falconeri running away, and he's looking for some kind of control or loyalty, but defending Sunny Corinthos against the wrath of Tracy Quartermaine is a rookie mistake. Tracy's stern advice to Gio was honestly exactly what he needed to hear. She practically verbally swatted him like a fly, and I was cheering at my screen. Gio needs to focus on Trina's showcase and stay out of the mob crossfire. But you just know Sunny's going to view this as a sign of loyalty, and the last thing this kid needs is to get sucked into Sunny's orbit. I mean, look at what happened to Dex. Gio is way too pure for this, and I am dreading the path the writers are putting him on. Okay, back to the point. Let's pivot to the gallery drama, because Ava Jerome and Ethan Lovett are currently at each other's throats, and I am here for the drama. These two have the most toxic, volatile dynamic right now, and their argument was just chef's kiss. Ava is pressing all of Ethan's buttons about Delilah Wilson and the Kyoko art connection. Ethan is terrified that Ava's digging is going to expose the fact that he's faking being baby Phoebe's father to cover up for some dangerous criminal from a PCPD cold case. Ava is such a hypocrite though. She is literally swimming in guilt over getting close to Sidwell and the whole Lucas Jones shooting, but she has no problem holding Ethan's feet to the fire. I kinda love it though. Ethan is so desperate to force this close adoption with Chase and Brooklyn to keep Phoebe safe, but Ava is a wild card. If she blows his secret, the danger coming to Port Charles is going to be astronomical. I don't know who Phoebe's real bio dad is, but the way Ethan is acting, it's gotta be someone massive. A blast from the past villain, maybe? I am so invested in this subplot, even if Ethan is making terrible choices. but nothing compares to the Windermere sub-basement. I am still processing what Liesel Obrecht just confessed to Jocelyn Jacks. Liesel actually finished the prototype. She finished Cesar Faison's cold fusion project and submitted it to Ross Cullum. I literally gasped out loud. How could she do this? We are talking about Cesar Faison's ultimate weapon, the very thing that has been haunting this canvas for literal years. The project Britt Westbourne was forced to work on before she went on the run with Rocco. And Liesel just handed it over? I mean, I get it. I really do. Liesel admitted to Jocelyn that she is doing whatever she has to do to keep Cassius safe. Her maternal instincts are in overdrive, and Kathleen Gotti is playing the absolute heartbreak of this situation perfectly. But Cassius isn't even Nathan. He's the twin who stole Nathan's face, cremated Nathan's body, and lied to her for months. And yet, Liesel is willing to hand over a weapon of mass destruction to a global terrorist just to protect him? The psychology here is fascinating, but also so incredibly frustrating. She is choosing the ghost of her son, wrapped in the body of a stranger, over the safety of the entire world. Jocelyn's reaction was everything. She is not having it. Jocelyn refusing to just stand by and let Cullum use this prototype to endanger thousands of lives is the Spencer Jacks energy we need right now. She might be locked in a cell, but she is ready to fight. I am praying she uses those makeshift weapons Anna Devane left behind. Jocelyn is not going to let Liesel's guilt-driven compliance destroy the world. I just know Jocelyn is plotting something massive, and when she finally strikes, it is going to be epic. Meanwhile upstairs, the Cassius situation is spiraling completely out of control. Jen Sidwell totally outed Cassius's true identity to Detective Joe Fitzpatrick. I was on the edge of my seat when Cassius pulled his gun on Joe. For a second I thought he was actually going to pull the trigger and cross the line into full-blown villainy, but he just knocked Joe out. Thank goodness. But then he aims the gun at Sidwell and tells him Cullum wants him dead. The tension in this scene, Sidwell, being the absolute snake that he is, doesn't even flinch. He immediately pivots and offers Cassius a deal. He pushes Cassius to help him get out of Port Charles and promises to make it worth his while. And Cassius accepts. He is actually making a deal with the devil. But here is the part that literally broke my heart and made me want to throw my remote at the TV. Cassius decides he wants to have a goodbye bonding session with James West before he leaves town. Are you serious? Cassius, you are a wanted man. You just knocked out a cop, you are harboring a fugitive mobster, and you are actively working against the WSB and the PCPD. And you want to stop for a playdate with your dead twin brother's son? I am sobbing, but I am also screaming at the screen. This is the biggest gamble he could possibly take. If he goes anywhere near Maxie and James, he is going to get caught. There is a massive manhunt underway, Dante is furious, Lulu is desperate, and Cassius thinks he can just pop in for a quick emotional goodbye. But the writers are really playing up this tragic angle where Cassius just wants the family he never had. It's beautiful, it's poetic, but it's so dumb tactically. I am dreading this goodbye scene because I know it's going to end in tears, and probably handcuffs, or worse, a body bag if Cullum catches up to him first. And finally, we have to talk about Turning Woods because my heart cannot take the stress of the Jack Brennan and Nina Reeves storyline. Ross Cullum showing up in Brennan's room? Terrifying. Andrew Hawks plays Cullum with such a chilling, menacing energy. When he leaned over Brennan and whispered, "Your end will be quick and sooner than you think," I got full body chills. Brennan is literally faking being in a locked-in state, completely paralyzed, unable to fight back or even react while this monster threatens his life. But then, enter Nina Reeves. I know Nina gets a lot of hate from the fandom, and trust me, I have been her biggest critic in the past. But right now, Nina is the MVP. When she discovers that Brennan is in grave danger, she doesn't just run away. She panics, yes, but then she realizes she has to do something. She leaps into action. The spoilers say she's going to react to this disturbing news and work to save him before it's too late. Is Nina actually going to physically fight Ross Cullum? Or maybe knock out one of his dirty agents? I would pay good money to see Nina hit a WSB double agent over the head with a bedpan. I mean, the character development here is insane. She threw away the paralytic dose because she couldn't bring herself to torture Brennan the way Willow is torturing Drew. And now she's risking her own life to save him? I am fully boarding the Nina and Brennan ship. I don't care what anyone says, their chemistry is off the charts. They are trauma bonding in the most soap opera way possible, and I am here for it. If Nina manages to save Brennan, he's going to owe her his life, and that is going to change their entire dynamic. Plus, Brennan is the only one who can actually take down Cullum and Sidwell. We need him awake, mobile, and furious. So, what's going to happen next? I feel like Carly's Windermere mission is going to collide directly with Jocelyn's escape attempt. Maybe Carly finds Joe Fitzpatrick knocked out. Maybe she runs into Cassius while he's trying to sneak Sidwell out. The possibilities are endless, but I just know someone is getting shot before the week is over. I am so stressed, but I am also so entertained. This is why we watch. People. I know some people are complaining that the pacing is too fast right now, but honestly, I prefer this over the months of dragging storylines we had last year. Give me all the action, all the unhinged decisions, and all the dramatic monologues. I am seated, I am invested, and I cannot wait for tomorrow's episode. Let me know in the comments if you think Cassius is actually going to make it out of town, or if he's going down in a blaze of glory.